Welcome back to the Movie Draft House. I'm your host, Mark, and it's another 5-minute review. In today's review, we're talking about the recently released Amazon original film, A Million Miles Away, and it stars Michael Pena, Rosa Salazar, Julio Cesar Cedillo probably, Veronica Falcone, and yeah, that's pretty much it. As far as I could name a bunch of all these actors and probably would not ring a bell to anybody. However, it's directed by Alejandra Marquez Abela, who is a Hispanic director. She's been directing for a little bit, probably about 10 years now. And this is probably her widest release directorial effort. Anyway, she's a writer and writes screenplays for films. But anyways, this film is it's a biopic about this guy, Jose Hernandez. He's a real guy. And how he went from being a farm worker to an engineer and then ultimately an astronaut. And the film goes through his life as in each of these different stops. And it's pretty good. I mean, it's not nothing great. All right, let me get that out of the way. It's not some great film that I think you should stop what you're doing and go put it on. However, it is a great performance by Michael Pena. He is so underrated as an actor. Every time he shows up, I'm just like, why have we not gotten more of him? Everything from just the bit parts that he's done to, I mean, and honestly, he has made a name from being a side character actor, a supporting actor, and he probably got his reestablishment from Ant-Man, where he was kind of a sidekick to the character of Ant-Man. But he's been acting for a long, long time. He's got a ton of acting credits to his name, and it's great to really see him get a movie, regardless of how widely released or how popular the film is. That allows him to showcase his acting is because he's phenomenal. He's very subtle. When the part calls for him to get demonstrative or show a lot of emotion, he can do it. He does it a couple times in this film, and he portrays emotion very well with just facial features. So, the film just goes through his life. He starts out as this super brilliant kid who's light years ahead of where all the other kids are, but his parents are moving him around and taking him out of school because they have to go where the crops are growing in Southern California. And finally, his parents make the decision that they can't keep keeping him from being great, I guess, and they make a very good parental decision and decide that they're gonna stop trying to make as much money as they can and sacrifice for their children. And then it shows them in getting a start in this engineering lab and being doubted and kind of treated poorly because he's Hispanic and a predominantly, I think we're in the 70s here in this film. But the racism is very predominantly featured, even though it's not overt. It's the racist undertones are here for how he's treated, and then to him getting married and having kids and the trials and tribulations he goes through with that, and having to either be supported or be supportive of his wife and her ventures as well. And the culmination is, he finally ends up going to space. And it's a feel good story. It's a feel good. Amazon listed under faith and religion, but there's nothing really spiritual here. I mean, it is. I mean, Hispanics are the Hispanic culture is predominantly Catholic, and so there is that. but it just feel good. So I'm not going to recommend it. I can say I've seen better, but Michael Pena's here, and if you find yourself wanting something to watch in some downtime, it runs about 2 hours. You could do a lot worse. So Amazon Prime, recently released. It's an original film. See it from Michael Pena. Anyways, be sure you're hitting the subscribe button when it pops up so you're not missing any future content here on the podcast. Here on our YouTube channel. And you can find us on all your favorite social media platforms. We're on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, here on YouTube. You can catch the podcast as it releases weekly every Thursdays on all your favorite streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts, we're there. So appreciate you. Catch you next time.
This may not be your future, but it will always be your past.
Who better to leave this planet and dive into the unknown than a migrant farm worker?
5, 4, 3, 2,